Hey folks, I am Kevin Iole. Welcome to Yahoo Sports. On Saturday night over at Apex, you will see this young man, Dominick Reyes, come back fighting what is a very tough fight. A lot of people don't know Jiri Prochazka, a great striker, as well as Dominick. So that should be a fun fight. Dominick, welcome. You know, one of the things I checked out the 2008 Hesperia High School yearbook, and I saw, they put the quotes below the photos, and I saw a quote, and I just want to ask you, because it seemed very fitting for your situation now. The greatest accomplishment is not in never falling, but rising again after you fall. Coming off a 2-fight losing streak to back-to-back light heavyweight champions, this is the time where you rise after the fall, isn't it?
Yes, sir. A little foreshadowing by my younger self.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It is the rise after the fall. I'm in Phoenix right now, coming out of the ashes. So very excited.
By the way, whoever put that quote in your yearbook, they didn't know how correct it would be, but tell them how to spell Vince Lombardi's last name, because we got to
it was the editor freaking thought my O was an A. That's what happened. Wrote it in cursive.
There we go. Okay, so we got that. That was pretty cool to see that. I wonder, you had that unbelievable fight with Jon Jones. You come back against Jan, and it seemed like all night long in that particular fight, you were maybe a half step behind. Did you not feel as good in that fight, or was there something that wasn't Not that it's a shock that anybody loses at this high level, but it's a shock that you didn't look like the athletic, quick Dominick Reyes we've come to know and love.
No, you're spot on. I wasn't. I was questioning everything I was doing, and I was hesitating. I wasn't confident in myself and my abilities. I was second guessing everything. Like all of a sudden, I didn't have the secret sauce. Like all of a sudden, I wasn't special, I guess you could say. I doubted myself out of the fight before the fight even started. It just wasn't terrible performance. Like my thing is, if I could go out there and perform, I'm very tough to beat, and
right.
And I have nothing to be upset about. I did my best, regardless of the outcome. God decided the outcome. I just gonna do everything I can. So for me to go out there and not do everything I can, oh man, it's been a tough pill to swallow. And for me, this fight, it's just going out there and enjoying it again, enjoying my thing. I am who I say I am.
It's kind of ironic that you would not have the confidence in that fight after coming off a win, after coming off a fight with Jon Jones, where some people think he's the greatest fighter who ever lived. And here you are, a lot of people thought you won that fight. And, so the timing of it, why do you think it was that you felt that way? I mean, was it just, did you feel like camp wasn't the way you wanted it? Or was there anything that, that you can look back on and point to and say, this happened and that's why I felt the way I did?
Oh, there's a few things. Camp was only 6 weeks. To get all your reactions and central nervous system firing on only 6 weeks is a tough thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I had a broken nose. I broke my nose in 4 different places prior to the fight, and I tried to just fight on with. I didn't want to get hit. When you don't want to get hit, you're like, man, if he hits my nose, I know it's going to be bad because it was bad the first time.
Right.
But you live and you learn. I probably should have backed out, but I was like, this is my only opportunity. These don't come on. One of those things, like, bro, just back out of the fight. It's fine. But I didn't. I learned a few things in that fight, and mostly mental, mostly about taking care of yourself and fighting, just fighting your fight. Don't worry about what worry about what he's gonna do, but do your thing, and he's not gonna be able to do anything.
And so you're now in a really unique position because you're fighting a guy that not a lot of people know. The hardcore people know him, but not a lot of the casual fans know him. But an amazing strong striker in Jiri Prochazka. And here you are sitting here. You're on a 2-fight losing streak after a 12-0 start, and yet do you feel in any way like you're fighting for your life a little bit?
Not at all. My 2 losses were in title fights. I'm still number 3 in the world. He's actually earned this opportunity. He's number 5. So it's not like I'm fighting down in the rankings, or I'm fighting like, oh, you're fighting an unranked guy or number 11 or some shit like that. No, I'm still top 5 in the rankings. Mm-hmm. So he's earned this spot, and I'm excited about the opportunity to just go out there and perform again, man. Like I stopped caring about the little things, and I was just, I don't know.
Just react.
Yeah, just do it.
I mean, a lot of times when the UFC makes fights, you look on a card and there's some fights down the card where you say, boy, that's really going to be a good matchup. And you look at this fight and you go, this is the main event. And this is one where you go, how can this not be an unbelievable fight, right? The style that you have and the style he has, it seems like, you're going to go at it pretty good. I want to ask you this, when you go into a fight where it's almost going to be a stand-up war, does that change the mentality compared, like against Jon, hey, he has stand-up, but he's also, a great jiu-jitsu fighter, right? Jones had the wrestling. When you go into a guy like Jiri, where he's such a great, kickboxer and all that, does that change your mentality and the way you think about the fight going in?
No, it's just go out there and do my thing, man. At the end of the day, fight the fight. Don't worry about the bullshit. He's gonna come out and try to make it overwhelm me with his movement and try to create a brawl, but that's not what I'm gonna do.
I asked him this when I talked to him. I didn't do a Zoom with him, but I talked to him on the phone. And I want to ask you the same question. He, fights a lot of times with his hands down at his side. He's moving around. You are a really athletic, quick guy, right? And to me, that seems like almost a death move against you. Like, if you're fighting some people, maybe you can get away with that, but a fast-handed fighter, that seems to be trouble with. Have you noticed that on film? And is that something that you feel like you can take advantage of with his hands where they are a lot?
Absolutely. You're not gonna get away with that shit with me. I'm gonna hurt you if you come freaking, hands down, blocking with your face. Like, I'm number 3 in the world. That might work against Risen guys and all these other people, but bro, he's aware of that though. He's actually stated it in his interviews. He knows what he has to do. He knows he has to clean up his act. Because if not, it's not gonna be a good night for him. He's not dumb. Right. It's like, obviously he's probably gonna go back to it a little bit, but
that's your natural thing, because you go back and you watch a lot of his fights and he fights that way, right? His hands.
You go back to what you do, what you're good at. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna do that. Like, whether he does for a long period of time or not, but he's gonna get hit one time clean by me, and he's gonna be like, and then do his hands down. I'm gonna do some shit. Like, that's not.
Do you look for that? Is that something when you're fighting a guy that does that? Is that something you're looking for? Like, if he's here, you're one thing, and then as soon as you see those hands, is that you have something that and game plan for that?
It's that's what happened with the LFA fight. I watched film and I was like, if this fool drops his hands, I'm gonna kick his head off. Yeah. Same exact kind of thing. It's like, I wish you would, kind of thing. I wish you would, and we'll see. We'll see, man. I'm an opportunist. You've seen that in my fight. Give me one opportunity, and I'm gonna take it. Last fight wasn't so much, but going opportunist. That's what I do.
I will wrap up with this, Dom. And one of the things I wonder, with this, like, have you gotten to this point now? You win this fight, Glover's fighting Jon. All of a sudden, you're right back in the mix, right? I mean, you're right there. I mean, you would probably be hold your position, if not, maybe move up one, depending on how the fight goes. Do you feel like this is almost like the fight for the next championship shot? Given where the two of you are ranked and how the division is shaked out.
To be 100% honest, I haven't really thought about it too much. I know, he's 5 and I'm 3. The way the UFC works is, we have a spectacular performance and all of a sudden you're the next guy, but we'll see. They created somewhat of a little bit of a tournament with 2 and 4 and 3 and 5 fighting. So we'll see what happens. I'm just excited for this opportunity, man. That's really what it's all about.
Well, I'm excited to see the fight on Saturday over at Apex here in Las Vegas. You will see this man, Dominick Reyes, against Jiri Prochazka. Should be a fun fight, Tom. I wish you all the best. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Good luck to you, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Have a good one.